he talks about how he used to start his days by writing down his hardest problems and then taking a long walk in the woods to solve them. And he would always come back with an answer.
That's a lot of the Stoics and people that I follow, like
the Japanese with forest bathing. Yep.
Everything's over. Like a lot of things get solved by taking a long walk.
By connecting with
nature.
What birthed us. You know what I mean? Like the physical world. You know?
Welcome to the Fuel Hunt Show.
What's going on, Eagles? Welcome to the Fuel Hunt Show. My name is Joey. I'm here joined by my cousin and co-founder, Drew. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Every day's a good day.
I feel like it's been a little while since we've done an episode, just the two of us.
It feels weird to sit in this seat.
Yeah.
We should do more like this.
I know, we should. We forgot our roots.
I know. We get kind of, the guest episodes are just great. I'm going to
use your word.
I love the energy.
Electric.
Yeah.
I'm going to use your word, electric.
Like, I find myself getting lost in that seat half the time. I blink and it's like the episode's over.
Yep. And the community loves the guest episodes.
They do.
I guess that should tell us something.
True. Here we are. Like, we should freaking flap our gums more.
Yeah, we should do more. In any event, it feels good to be on the other side of the camera and the microphone with just you. Today, I wanted to go back to the beginning, or back to basics, really, and talk about what it means to be a hunter. We close the show, every show, and we say, let's hunt, right? Mm-hmm. We refer to ourselves as hunters, as eagles, right? Mm-hmm. Prey seekers. So I wanted to get into what that means a little bit, because it's early on in the journey, it was misunderstood. People were like, what do you mean, fuel hunt? What does that even mean? You know, now things are different.
Yeah.
But I feel like it'd be a cool thing to kick around, and a lot of value will come out of it.
I will say that the people that don't, and I say this a lot, but the people that don't understand what fuel hunt means, if they don't hear that and think, oh, I get that, then they're just not one of us. Like, you don't have to explain it to someone that gets it.
Yeah. Somebody that's about it. You don't have to explain it to. That's living the life.
Exactly.
You don't have to explain it to. Also, hunting season's coming up. So that was another idea that the topic came in mind. So funny you asked that. So since we started Fuel Hunt, I've basically swapped hunting. I've swapped the literal hunt for the metaphorical hunt. So with how insanely busy we are, and you're growing the community,
and your jiu-jitsu schedule,
and my jiu-jitsu schedule, sacrifices had to be made, which pains me because it wasn't just about hunting. It was about spending time, with my father, and my uncles, and my cousins, and things like that. But so haven't done much hunting at all for the past 6 years. I've went out every season, but some seasons it's been one sit. Yeah. I've went out for a long sit. I went out for 6 hours.
At your peak, how many?
I was going every other weekend during hunting season. Hunting season's short. Well, my hunting season, I'm a bow hunter. So in Pennsylvania, it's basically like last weekend of September to the first weekend of November. So you really only have that window. What's that, like 6 weeks or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of short. So even when I was going every other weekend, it wasn't a lot, but multiple days.
And you do both days, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can hunt every day but Sunday.
Oh, you can't hunt on Sundays?
No. So I would try to get up Friday after work or whatever, and then make Friday evening hunt, because you have to stop hunting once you lose light, right after the golden hour, and then I put in a full sit on Saturday. So this season I hope to get out, man. I hope to get out. Because I love it. I love it out there.
It's funny.
See the wheels turning.
When we started this and you said our mantra to me the first time, I remember being like literally so gassed up when I heard it the first time, and I was like, and I had my hunting license obviously expired, never actually went hunting, but when you had said to me the first time, it literally hit me so hard. And I was like, I fucking get that, because I was at the time in a job where I felt as though I was working a lot harder than a lot of other people and was being held to the same standard. So the fact that those words and our mantra hits me so hard. I can only imagine how. I believe that is the effect it has on everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But hunting itself has always been confusing to me.
Why?
Like I was just saying actually before the show that in your hunt, as far as chasing
literal hunt.
yeah, well, in your hunt, your metaphorical hunt.
Oh, my metaphorical hunt. Yes, yes.
In anyone's metaphorical hunt.
And when you say the metaphorical hunt, you mean chasing your goals, setting
Chasing
big
your
goals,
dream,
working
yes.
hard, day in, day out, living the rules of the few, like all that
suffering
good stuff.
through to attain your true purpose or main goal.
Dream life, true
Yes.
purpose, whatever. Yep.
So there is clear reward that can't be had unless you hunt.
Yeah.
For the sport of hunt, the literal hunting,
hunt, yeah.
like you can go grab some venison at the supermarket.
Okay.
Like
I could.
I just don't see, other than the time spent with your dad, like that's obviously irreplaceable. But I'm sure you went out by yourself before.
Oh yeah, tons of times.
So you went, I mean, and sat.
You
in
actually go out. You actually go out by yourself every.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're in a blind with somebody or whatever, but you're out there by yourself.
The quality time is just a couple hours you get at the cabin.
Back at the cabin. Yeah. Dinner, breakfast.
It's a very minimal
whatever. Yeah, it's
quality
minimal.
time that you
Yeah,
probably
it's
have somewhere else.
It's minimal.
The
Yeah, I
amount
understand what you're
of the
saying.
amount of suffering and effort that goes into it just doesn't seem to match the reward that comes along with. Like, I forget what Amanda and I were talking about in this car, how it came up, but I was like, you have to literally, you have to sit and wait, kill this thing, then undress it yourself and
Undress it?
What's it called?
Field dress.
Field dress.
Look, bro, if you're undressing deer, bro, with your eyes, I don't want to know.
and then you gotta lug this thing back to wherever you came from.
Yeah, but hard work makes you happy, man.
Hard work does make us happy, but I just don't see any upside.
It's that age old question, right? Of would you rather someone give you $1 million or would you rather work for the $1 million?
Correct, and I agree. Like if that was our way of sustaining our lives, like I would be a hunter, obviously, but.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying it's like not a necessity.
360 other days of the year, you're eating the meat everyone else gets. But for these 5 days, you decide to suffer for it.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much suffering. I mean, you can go on like long range hunts and things like that. Like for me, yeah, I mean, you're basically rucking. You're rucking up a mountain to get to your spot, and then you're sitting in solitude. But for me, that's the only time I really get to spend by myself.
Yeah.
Honestly, like those moments.
If that's your, again, I love time and by myself.
And plus, you're in the woods. Like you're in nature. You're like forest
sometimes
bathing.
I'll meditate for up to an hour a day. Like legit.
Yeah.
Like I love the time spent my thoughts. Just me. Like there's nowhere to run. Yeah. I thought about doing one of those. You ever hear these darkness retreats?
Yeah.
Like where you just go in like a cabin and it's fucking.
I think Uncle Mark's done one of those.
No way.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. He did like one, no electronics. I think it was, it might have been a dark. I'm not sure.
Well,
but I know he did one of the no
one I
electronics
heard of, it
ones.
was like
Men's retreat.
you go to a cabin and they give you your meal. You're in the darkness for like 48 hours.
Yeah.
Like literally just pure darkness.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't do anything.
Like I thought about doing one of those eventually.
I mean, sitting in a tree stand. So like I said, I'm a bow hunter, right? So like I put my pack on, I essentially ruck, quote unquote, to the stand with my bow. I climb up the tree, whether I have a climber, or there's climbing sticks or whatever, I climb the tree. And you're sitting on I know nowadays they probably have, the community may roast me. I'm sure nowadays they have like super comfortable tree stands. Like we're rocking like the old stuff, man. It's like a metal tennis racket, and like a rickety seat, and you're sitting there. Like there's nowhere to go. You're not in darkness, but there's really nowhere to go. And you can't be up there fidgeting, standing up, moving around there because you have to be silent. You have to be one with the woods.
Or you won't get anything.
Or nothing coming your way. So it's kind of like almost the same thing. Like I'm in nature, I'm in the woods, I'm forest bathing, and I'm alone with my thoughts, and I can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? And I'm certainly not going to choose to come out of the stand and go back to the cabin. Why? So our entire family can be like, oh, you sat an hour? You know what I mean? Like, so there's that too. But for me, it's like, it's a spiritual experience. Like, it's kind of like like grounding. You go out, you put your feet on the ground, you feel the earth, you become one with the earth, right? For all sorts of, it's the same type of thing. Like if there was no hunting, there'd be no us.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I
Us
just
meaning like, yes,
however,
of course, us here at Fuel Hunt,
nowadays
but
that's not the case. So
I mean, mass market meat. I don't want to get into the whole thing, but like mass market meat,
it's
bro.
you got a local
Listen,
butcher, dude. You got a
mass
local
market
butcher.
meat, dude. Come on now.
Oh yeah, we're always going grass fed local butcher, obviously.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes. Okay. So you're also. I would never. One of the things that I said like really early on in my career was I would never ask somebody to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's something that I try to live by.
I respect that.
And that falls in line here. And listen, I can go get venison from my local butcher and it's the same PA whitetail. You know, it's probably butchered better than I did, you know, everything. But nothing nourishes you. I was going to say taste, but like nothing nourishes me like a deer that I've harvested personally does.
That's actually a fair point. Like these points you're making are great. Like especially you have a spiritual experience. Like, there is no doubt. There is no doubt that if you sit in a tree stand for how long is it usually 6 to 8 hours?
Well, you know, my family, you could ask around, dude. You ask my pop. So sits can be long. I mean, you can be out there all day. Pack a sandwich and be out there all day.
Yeah.
Usually we do a morning sit and an afternoon sit. And it's a couple hours, man, 4 or 5 hours.
Like sitting there alone, no phone, no nothing, just like thinking and watching.
That's the best part. Like a lot of the tree stands that we have where I am in outside of Bloomsburg, upstate Pennsylvania, I have no service.
Yeah.
You know? So I can't even do anything with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even take my phone.
Yeah, I can't even do.
That's why I said,
we take them now. We used to take walkie-talkies because you fall out of a fucking tree, like things can bear. You know what I mean? Like things can happen. So we used to have walkie-talkies, but now with the phones, it's like
I mean, that's like with jiu-jitsu. Like I see people take their phone on the mats. Like I don't even.
No,
like my phone's in my bag when I get when I'm in the locker room.
I'd have much more jiu-jitsu content for my personal page if I took my phone on the mat.
But it's like that's my time to just be one with my thoughts and just want to be present.
I will say, like, you're in the tree stand, like, you're sitting still. It's cold. Sometimes it's raining. Sometimes it's snowing. You know, you're literally sitting like this, and you're holding the bone. You can start to, like, cramp up. You can start to, you know, it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's not super comfortable. Now, are there beautiful days in late September where you're out there and you're in like a camo t-shirt?
Yeah.
And, you know, your scent control's on point, but you have low layers on? Yes. But what I will say is the moment that you see, so I only hunt deer, right? Turkey sometime, but just deer. The moment you see the animal come into your shooting lanes, and when you're with a bow, it's up close and personal. Like some dudes are shooting deer 70 yards out or whatever. Like where we hunt, like a long shot is 30 yards. Oh. So it's up close and personal, bro. You know what I mean? The moment you see the animal come into your shooting lanes, it's like jiu-jitsu. Like you're all the other noise, silence.
Yeah, it's like
you have one thought.
Like your heartbeat
and
too,
one mission. Yes, exactly. So I can liken it to jiu-jitsu in that aspect. Just jiu-jitsu, it's a prolonged period of time. Whereas when you're hunting, and don't get me wrong, the animal could be milling around and stuff like that, but it's a shorter amount of time.
It's like slows down. It's like.
Yeah. Well, that's the crazy, like you're out there with a bunch of squirrels, man. Yeah. So the whole time, all you hear, like any hunter will tell you, like squirrels and chipmunks, man, like they're jumping around the leaves, and you're like, it's a deer, it's a deer, it's a deer. When the deer come through, silent, man. Bro, they're so wary, so silent.
Yeah.
You know, moving through the woods, which, again, like adds to the experience. You have to work to take. There's no handouts. Yeah. You know, you need to work. You need to really work to take or give to get. You know?
It's our...
Have I changed your mind or what?
I mean,
you gonna go hunt with me?
No, I mean, if I could bow hunt, I have to get experience for like.
You can go.
How long would it take to get proficient with a bow?
So for me, I don't toot my own horn often, dude. But like, I'm a good shot, and I've been a good shot.
It looks intense, dude. Like you watch like Cameron Haynes and all them do it. Like it looks like a lot of work. Like there's a lot of moving parts.
It's
to
just
a bow.
reps, bro. It's reps. I mean, you're shooting a compound bow. Like you can get the hang of it in no time. you know, but the thing is you need to be responsible. Like if you don't want to be what we call wally wounder, like the guy out there that's really not a great shot and he's just wounding all these animals. Like
And you
that's
run
not
that
the way you
risk
do
with
it.
the bow too, because it's not as easy.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be dialed in. You gotta be dialed in. The arrow, the broadheads, or the mechanicals, whatever you're shooting, need to be sharp. Like it needs to be a quick, efficient kill. Like you don't want an animal suffering.
Interesting side note: a friend of mine, jiu-jitsu, his son, like he doesn't hunt at all, but his son, like for some reason, like loves hunting. Like literally,
That's
like
cool.
just like YouTubed it, figured it out, watched all the stuff, and like now he goes hunting all the time.
Yeah,
He's like a 13-year-old kid.
yeah. It's peaceful. I know. I've said that to people before, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're going out there and you're like killing an animal." And I'm like, "Look, I'm an animal lover too, but like these people also eat chicken and beef, so it's like
a circle of life, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we eat
circle of life, yeah.
like. Unfortunately, like there are people like it is what it is.
Yeah,
there are things on the other end.
Yeah, it's a peaceful
food chain,
experience.
dude.
So I can
Yeah.
understand. Maybe he's found some of that peace.
Yeah,
Plus, being in the woods, man, like being in the woods is great.
I agree.
As a city kid, you know, I was always fortunate enough that my dad took us up the mountains when he could, when he wasn't working.
Yeah,
But as a city kid, we have like Fairmount Park, like we have Pennypack Park. We have,
Pennypack.
you know, I
Yeah,
have
Pennypack
Burnham
was
Park.
a nice. I mean, for a
William Penn did
living
it.
in Philadelphia, dude,
William
like,
Penn did it right, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It's a pretty nice forest area, dude.
yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So like growing up, I spent a lot of time in the woods, and it's peaceful, you know, and nature bathing or forest bathing. You know, when we read that book early on in our journeys, what was that Trevor Blake book, 3 Simple Steps
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Secrets to a Successful Startup or whatever, both books we recommend by Trevor Blake. He talks about how he used to start his days by writing down his hardest problems and then taking a long walk in the woods to solve them. And he would always come back with an answer.
A lot.
You know?
That's a lot of the Stoics and people that I follow. Like
The Japanese with
yeah,
forest
like,
bathing. Yep.
everything's over with. Like a lot of things get solved by taking a long walk.
By connecting with
Nature.
what birthed us. You know what I mean? Like the physical world, you know?
That's why I tell you to get out of the city with me. And nice.
Well, I got a cabin, bro, so I could just drive
Yeah,
to the
you
cabin.
just
I could just drive to the cabin. My thing is
Same
like
thing.
my thing is, you know, I've got a few goals in life, right? But like a personal goal is I just want to have a foothold in the city, in the mountains, and at the beach. And the beach hasn't happened yet, but
Right,
the
we're
city
almost
and the
there.
mountains.
One day. We'll be there soon.
One day soon. But the city and the mountains have happened. So
And do you plan on so just this is a personal question, but you plan on staying in Philadelphia till your
yeah,
last
bro,
day?
stretcher. You saw the email I wrote to the community.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the running joke. Like I'm
never
taking out
getting
the
out.
stretcher. No, no. I've been through so much messed up shit in the city, man. Like, I would never leave.
Damn.
No, I'd never leave.
So all these jokes I knew about getting you out, like I thought there was actually a chance.
No, you're not chipping away at it at all. If anything, it's having the opposite effect. It's like making me dig my heels in more. No, I love the city, man. I love the city, but I also love the mountains and I love the
Yeah.
beach. Like, I just love it all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. So hopefully I change your mind about hunting, and I'll
I
still, you know what?
consider it.
Even if I didn't change your mind, I'll still share some of the venison with you. From
I'll come hunt when you move to the boat.
okay, all right. Oh, well, now you're up in the ante, dude. You're up in the ante.
No, I mean I'm definitely interested. I'm not
You're like primal, bro. You're like one with nature, like tree hugger type, dude. Well, that's probably not the best. That's probably not the best one.
I am a hippie in ways.
Yeah.
But I just never.
I don't know if there's many hippies that hunt though. It's probably a
I
better,
feel like I'm
better nature lover turn.
I feel like
term.
I'm definitely an interesting individual where I do connect multiple different walks of life.
Same. I'm the
And
same
as-
way.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
just
yeah,
that
we're the
kind
same
of those
way,
kind
yeah.
of people.
It's funny how we ended up starting a community that does the same.
So yeah, like I like to ground my feet in the grass and get sunlight. I also like to. I would also like
Shop
to
for your
I
meat.
would also like to kill a deer.
yeah, I
eat it.
get you. I get you, man. I get you. Well, we this turned into a little bit of a hunting discourse. So for those that for the Eagles listening and watching that hunt, don't roast me because I'm an amateur. For those that don't, come hunt. You know, the
Wait, you're
literal
saying
hunt.
you would consider yourself an amateur?
I would consider myself an amateur because
Oh wow.
I mean I've been hunting since I've been hunting for
You've been hunting for a long time. I would consider you
Actually, a
more
long,
than
long time, almost 20 years. I don't know. When anybody ever asks me to rate myself, I give myself like 3 out of 10, dude. That's just how I am. I will, though, like I said, toot my own horn. And that's the running joke of my family. Like, I'm a good shot. The first day I took my bow to the archery range, I had a Robin Hood, which is basically when you put one arrow through the back of the other arrow. They were my first 2 hours.
You split it?
They were my first 2 hours that came out of the bow. Yeah.
Damn.
Their first 2 hours that came
So
out
I
of
know
the bow.
that the velocity at which the bow comes out.
I actually have it over here on top of my desk.
Really?
The arrows. Yeah.
So the velocity at which the arrow comes out, like also matters too, right? You could be,
of course.
you could have the greatest aim, but if you're not pulling back hard enough, too. So.
Well, there's a poundage or like a test on the bowstring. So that's what will spit the arrow out faster. But some of these bows, I mean, they just shoot crazy. I shoot an old bow. You know what I mean? My dad's bow, actually. It's from the 90s.
Oh, really?
Shoots much slower than other bows, but it works for me. And like I said, the running joke of my family is that I only need like 20 minutes in the woods. Because of those times that I go up and I just do like one sit or one day, I always harvest something. Like if something comes in on me, my first 2 years hunting or whatever, like a little bit of a wally wounder because like you get your heart starts racing. You know.
How old were you? 10 years old?
No, I didn't start till my 20s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But nowadays,
The Bowen family's been hunting. Like I feel like your dad was hunting when you were a kid, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, Grandpa Bowen, God rest his soul, man. He used to.
So you didn't go out until you were 20?
No, I didn't go out.
No,
I didn't go out. I was, to be honest, I was so focused on school, my first business.
Even as like a high schooler, like you just your dad ever asked you or just?
He didn't really like. We used to fish together, but he never really did because he knew that the time. Like he's of the same mindset. That's where I got it from. Like he's very respectful with the art and the nature of hunting. He knew the time that would be involved, and he wanted to keep me on the track of like doing well in school, keeping my nose clean, starting a business.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to keep me on that track, and I think that's why he never pushed it too much. But then once I got myself established a little bit in my 20s, then
You're like, I'm ready to kill things.
I'm ready to go. Yeah. I'm ready to hunt, ready to eat.
With that being said, though, I think we kind of, like you said, transitioned to a hunting dialogue. But as far as the mantra goes, like I feel like the hunt means something different to everybody, right? Like I said on a previous podcast, like me and Sean connected so strongly that when we first met because we knew we were cut from the same cloth. We were both hunters, but we were just on different journeys. The same work ethic though, and that's I think for anyone who reads our mantra or sees our logo, that's what they take away, and that's why it fires them up so much. Yeah,
I agree. There's different hunting. We spent a little bit of time talking about hunting, but hunting, the literal hunt, is such a great metaphor for life, and that's why it works. And yes, people are on the hunt for different things on the metaphorical side. You know, a belt, to be the best in the world. You know, to have a thriving community that has a positive impact on the world, to connect with like-minded people, like whatever it is, you know, have a beautiful family, have, you know, I'm sure like, you know, other types of goals, things like that. But they all have the same underpinning of hard work. There's no way around it, you know? So the prey may be different, right? The prey may be different. That was the part I was missing in my metaphor. The prey may be different, but the procedure, the protocol, the process, it's the hard work. There might be an OG coming up here in the next 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying, man. The prey may be different, but the hunt is the same. Well, now I'm really going to blow your mind because we're talking about what it means to be a hunter, and now we're moving towards like the metaphorical hunt, right? And I was thinking about it. You ever have shower thoughts? I have my best thoughts in the shower. Oh my God, it's amazing. There's a science behind that. We'll get into the show, but I've never heard that science. Yeah, there's science behind it. I thought about that bilateral stimulation. Where did you bring that up? Because I literally brought it up last night. I said to Amanda, I was like, well, I bought you that little thing for the shower. You put your phone in. Yeah. But I was like, I always go out of the shower to Amanda with like business ideas. And I'm like, like this is like. Yeah, it's a stimulation. We'll get into the science of that, shower thoughts. But anyway, had a shower thought. And, you know, I was just mentally preparing for the show. And I was having that prey conversation in my mind, because I say sometimes like the few were eagle-eyed and prey-seeking, right? And I was having this prey conversation in my mind about how like everybody's prey is a little bit different, but you know, the underpinning is the same, and it's the work ethic, the hard work, what we stand for, right? Dignity and hard work. And I started really thinking about it, and I'm like, man, does that mean that the prey actually isn't different? Like your prey is actually you, right? Because there's what we believe is the only thing standing between who you are right now and the future you is you. So you're your own prey.
Yes. And that's full circle that you bring that up now, because with the conversation we just had with Chris and Kyle.
Yep. Chris and Kyle Dawkins.
Yes.
Yeah, episode that
like
we did
Chris
with them.
said, like when you wake up and you just only care about the work and you don't worry about setting huge goals and how everything's going to fall apart if you don't achieve them.
Yep.
That's when you actually grow, right? Like that's when you actually win, is when you just wake up and you think about the work.
Exactly.
And once you reach that level of spiritual awakening, for lack of a better word, like
awareness,
like even when we started Fuel Hunt, I wanted to achieve this, right? Like I had this pedestal vision, and now I just want to wake up and work and win.
You know why? Because you trust hard work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you have the vision. It's so important to cast a vision, but then and this is unpopular.
Yeah.
This is an unpopular outlook. It's so important to have a vision and know exactly where you want to go, but then you need to stop looking at it and you need to put your head down and work. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the vision changes for a lot of people along the way. Like my vision for what I wanted with Fuel Hunt when we started is much
personally,
different. Your personal vision.
Oh,
like,
absolutely, dude.
Different.
Absolutely, yeah. We did a show a few months back, and we got into like the definition of hunt, the verb, you know. And I said, like, for me, on a daily basis, right? Like every day, it's to kill my lowest self and capture my highest self. And that's literally, that means I'm the prey.
Yeah.
And like, I'm in the shower and this is now all connected. I'm like, that means I'm the prey. You know, I'm the only thing standing between the me now and the future me, you know? And I feel like so many times we focus on the prey being the competition, or the prey being the opponent, or the prey being this or that or this. When the reality is, you get up every day and you literally try to be a better human, 1% better every day. And that's what gets you there.
I know. It's so crazy to think too, because my friend that you said the other day, he's like, my friend Dane, he was like, if you do that.
Wait, you got two friends, Dane?
I got a lot. Oh, yeah.
He was very upset. I don't know if there's room for a second Dane.
I accidentally, dude.
We got to rename your jiu-jitsu friend.
This is a side note, but when I sent you an email one day, I accidentally emailed him. Did he email you back? Well, no, I emailed you, or I emailed him instead of you, and he texted me and was like, he's like, bro, I'm such a bad worker, or like a workaholic, that I almost just said okay and started doing what I said, like, dang, can you do this? And he was like, so I almost just did what you need me to do and just fucking said okay.
That's hilarious.
But he's like, I'm very upset. You have two friends, Dane. He's like, we have to talk to this guy.
I think we should have a death match on the mats.
He would smoke Dane.
Oh,
he's a blue belt.
Yeah. Dane, I'm in your corner, man. I'll coach you.
Dane,
for what it's worth. For what it's worth.
We'll have to coach you up. But anyway, he was like, dude, if you do this, people are gonna hate you. And I was like, bro, like, you think I care if people hate me? Like, I was like, it's called the few will hunt for a reason, not many will hunt. So like, that's interesting to tie that into what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of people that don't feel that way, like, on a daily basis is like, I'm so grateful that when we come to work, we deal with like only people that think like us, right? We just had a conversation with Tim, Chris Dawkins, Kyle Dawkins, work with Dane, work with Karen, like just people who are on the same pursuit and working hard to capture or kill their highest selves. And it's when we go out into everyday society, we start to feel like outcasts, especially me now. I could hardly deal with anyone that's just a normie, right? Like, for lack of a better word.
I'm with you, man.
We're as fuck. You and I are very spoiled.
I don't.
We went from feeling lost and alone or discontent with our situations to being fucking spoiled. It's like, cause like everyone we deal with, think about like even our vendors are like everyone.
Freedom, like I say it all the time. Go back to Dan Kennedy, right? The 4 types of freedom, right? To achieve those, everybody thinks about financial freedom and how hard you have to work to get there. Those other freedoms, those other 3 that precede financial freedom, that's where it is. That's where it's
Do you want to tell the viewers about the 4 freedoms?
Freedom of financial freedom, freedom of time, freedom of purpose, freedom of relationships. And what you just described was freedom of relationships. The ability to get up every day, have freedom of purpose, right? Work on exactly what you want to work on with the people that you want to work with. Like that's a blessing. That's where it's at, man. You know? But those things, to get those things, you got to work insanely hard, bro. Like insanely hard to get there. Insanely hard. You can have a corporate job. Ain't nothing wrong with a corporate job. No. Right? That's where I was for decades. And you can work hard and surround yourself with the right people, and you still have just like some dumbass in your company that you can't deal with. You know what I mean? But here, that doesn't happen. No. You know, and I'm very, 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 very grateful for that. Very grateful for that. Very grateful for that. Did you elaborate on what you were going to do that was going to make people hate you? You don't have to.
No, it was
something simple.
It was
minutiae.
What was had to do with like baseball politics?
Okay, I got you.
Baseball.
Yeah, I got you. But, I got you. One of our...
It really just came down to not conforming and not fit, like just doing what...
we were having that conversation too with Chris and Kyle when they came in to do the show, and it's just like, that's what I wanted to mention. We've got a double whammy. We've got the double whammy of entrepreneurship and jiu-jitsu. And like both of those games change you. And when you're doing both together, you're literally, and I commented on your post the other day, like, you literally become a different human. Like I looked at that picture that you posted. That wasn't that long ago. When was that? 21? 22 maybe? Something like that. Dude, I am. And
you've aged in reverse. It's crazy.
You know why? Because because of freedom. Because of freedom.
I'll show you this snap. When you were on Snapchat, I sent you a snap like 4 years ago of Parker saying happy birthday to Everly, and like looking at a picture of you on like Facebook or something was posted. You are hurting, bro.
Physically,
you are so much.
Well, that's what happens when like I mean, I was drinking back then. And even though I didn't drink often, I binge drank my face off on the weekends.
True.
My face looked bloated. Like,
it's crazy, dude. You look 10 years younger. It's crazy.
I mean, I appreciate that, man.
You could pass for 30s. Like,
I was talking to Avery. We were just talking back and forth, and he was like, he was
which is crazy because your life may have gotten harder, or definitely has gotten harder.
No, it's definitely got way harder, but it's for a purpose, and not to say it wasn't before, but it's for a much stronger purpose.
Once you reach the level of entrepreneurship, I feel like we've reached. It's like when we've gone through hard times, obviously years and years out, whatever. Entrepreneurship is what it is. But even at our most recent hard time, I said, like, we were driving one day and I said to Amanda, I was like, it's crazy. We may be at our most challenging precipice of business yet, but I am the happiest I've ever been. Like, I'm the least stressed I've ever been. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stress as an entrepreneur is just something you deal with. Like,
bro, I try to, and this is just raw stuff on the show. Like, I try to make sense of that some days where I'm like, I am happy. Like, I'm happy, I'm fulfilled. And like with everything we've got going on, like this is the most difficult my life's ever been.
Yeah, it's hard.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I try to balance those two things out. And like it's an enigma, it's not. I understand why it's happening. Really but on the surface, it sounds like those two things are complete polar opposites.
Yeah, like think of how much.
That's why I say hard work makes you happy. We post it, we say fill in the blank, hard work makes you, and then we get a bunch of, rando commenters that say hungry, horny, all this like weird shit. Happy. Hard work makes you happy, man.
Yeah, that's true, bro. That's coming full, like that comes full circle. Like really, it's coming full circle for me right now in this
Yeah.
moment. Like and entrepreneurship is just something that I used to talk everybody into, but now I don't talk anyone into. I talk people out of it because
Same.
it's fucking brutal, dude. Like,
I'll add a footnote to the hard work makes you happy. When you're working hard in service to others, that's where it comes from.
and they gotta have it too. It's like Frank from FTV Fitness. Like,
Yeah.
when I nudged him to chase his dream, like I knew he was just dialed as a person. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I was like, if you can put this much effort into your health and your fitness, you can put this much effort into your business too.
Yeah. The hunt.
I said to Parker, and it fucking makes it. He says till he's blue in the face, but how you do anything is how you do everything. That's the truth.
The hunt, the metaphorical hunt, the hunt that we're talking about, right? It changes you as a person. Like when you're really on it, it changes you as a person. You know, you shed every weight. You know, you shed a lot of tears too, but you shed every weight that's holding you back.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it really transforms you.
Even if that's like emotional weight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
you shed the weight.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was. Well,
Yeah, you
you're
shed
both. I was talking about the emotional weight, but you're right, the physical weight too.
like you
know
shed
what I
the
mean?
weight of physical weight, but I meant like I was thinking like
Expectations.
you shed the weight of the people in your circle,
Opinions.
you stop
Everything.
caring about that. You shed the weight of like coping of getting emotional over stress, like you have to detach from all that, and it truly allows you to live life, like in my opinion, in like a state of, as Ed Milet calls it, blissful dissatisfaction, right? Like,
Yep.
like we're always happy and nothing could ever bother us because we're detached from the stuff that is a problem. Like,
You when you choose to be an entrepreneur, or you choose to, you know, we're hobbyists, you know, in the game, jiu-jitsu, we've only been there a couple of years or whatever, but like when you make those choices, you quickly learn that your focus, your care, your attention, your heart, your hands, they're like a laser, and you need to focus them on a narrow fixed point. Like before that, you're caring about everything and it's draining you. But when you shed that and you start to focus that care and attention, you know, on the people that you're serving or the game that you're playing, that's when you realize like the actual power of hard work. You know what I mean? So it's we say that a lot, like, oh, we stop caring what people think. The way I look at it is, it's kind of like, no, I'm just putting my care in the right places.
Yeah, clear
like
vision.
my care is like focused like a laser now. You know, it's not that I don't care about those things. It's just that I now know that my care, focusing it like a laser on a couple things, will get me and the people that I love and care about, including our community, not just my family, to where they need to be. You know? So I was saying, I was texting with Avery, and he was sending me some of his competition photos because he's always
tell
rocking
Avery to
Fuel.
email me back. Dude.
Email?
Yeah, well, we did these fight shorts for him. I sent him a design.
I'll text him.
Yeah,
today.
text him.
So he's texting me some of
Drew's waiting for an email back.
his competition photos, and he was like, leg day every day, bro, because he's got he's got tree trunks.
I gotta get his leg day routine, dude.
Yeah, he's got tree trunks, dude. So much power. He was a baller though too. I think I think he played soccer for a bunch of years too.
Really?
So I was like, look, dude. I was like, I'm 42. I probably have another like good like 20 plus years of strength training. I was like, I ain't gonna catch up to your legs, bro. And he responded, and he was like, how? He's like, how are you another person? It's like astonished. They're like, how you're. Like, I thought you were 32. And I was like, yeah, I'm aging in reverse. It's stress. It's doing it for me. It's the right stress.
So yeah, that's our our biohacking secret of the Fuel Hunt show. To age in reverse like Joey, just stress more.
Stress more about things that matter. Yes, exactly. Exactly. All right, what else we want to talk about with hunting? Anything else?
Not.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
Do we take credit for the quote everybody wants to see but few hunt? Because I saw one like in my Google searches of few hunt, like Charlie Manuel got quoted with that for one time.
Phillies?
Yeah. I don't know ever said
Well, when was Charlie Manuel though? Oh yeah, that would have been before us, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's something we've been saying at the cabin
Yeah.
for as long as I can remember. Nowadays, I feel like there isn't much original work. You know what I mean?
No,
Everything is
nothing's
inspired
original.
by something else.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like everything we try to do here, I try to make it as original as possible, as to you and the team. But I want to take credit for it.
I think we should.
I'm saying we, the collective. When I say
Yeah.
I mean we. I think we should. I think that even if it wasn't ours to begin with, we've done right by it.
I agree.
So I think we should claim some ownership of it.
We were definitely at the cutting edge of it. Like, I mean, everyone's jogging us now.
Yeah. There's a lot of the fews out there, you know, and there's a lot. Yeah. Well, those borrowing the name, but there's only one original community called the Few.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm going to leave the Few. Speaking of, I'm going to leave the Few with a reminder. Always choose hard work over handouts. Always choose effort over entitlement. Remember, no one owns you. No one owes you. You're one of the few. Now let's hunt.